Yolanda Vasquez, and welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. Joining me now in the studio is Catherine Marsh. She is the Deputy State's Attorney with Calvert County's State's Attorney Office. Catherine, it's a pleasure to have you here in our studio.
Thank you so much for having me.
So the opioid epidemic, this is clearly something that's not just hit Maryland, but all across the country, but it is something that Governor Hogan has really put a lot of resources into. Tell me a little bit more about what we're seeing in terms of the uptick in numbers in usage and overdoses. I mean, what exactly is going on with this?
Well, thank you. It is all over the country, specifically Maryland and Calvert County. As of today's date, our most recent stats have 74 overdoses for Calvert County from January until now, 13 of which were fatal. Almost all of the overdoses have been opiate related, be it prescription pills, morphine, heroin, fentanyl, all of those come in under the opiate epidemic.
What are the numbers looking like? We're looking at these total overdoses, which is just a little bit more than that, just a tad. But tell me a little bit more about, are you seeing an uptick in numbers from previous years, or what is the difference?
Well, our numbers for overdoses is kind of similar to last year.
Okay.
What we're actually seeing a little bit more control over is the fatality of the overdoses. That comes in under, as many people have had Narcan training, that our EMS, our law enforcement all have Narcan.
And tell people what Narcan is if they don't know.
Narcan is naloxone, and it is an opiate blocker, so it can actually reverse the overdose. The health department does free training and provides free Narcan for families.
Nice. And that's made a difference in terms of the numbers maybe not being as high as they probably could be for fatality.
That's correct. So for this year, when law enforcement has used Narcan, in all but 2 cases, they've been able to actually stop it being a fatal overdose. They've been able to bring the person back. There's only been 2 where Narcan was used that became fatal.
Let's talk about one more demographics. It has to do, well, one more section of this, and it has to do with the demographics in terms of the population who are using opioids. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, so statistically right now, it's whites more than any other race. When it comes down to location,
right.
Leslie has the highest number of overdoses for Calvert County, followed by Chesapeake Beach and Prince Frederick, and then Chesapeake Beach. And men, double females when it comes to overdoses.
Yeah, we're looking at those numbers there,
yes.
And the breakdown even of the ethnicity there, predominantly white in this particular county.
Correct.
As opposed to other breakdowns of ethnic groups. Let's talk a little bit more about the Good Samaritan law, because you really want to get the word out about this.
We do. The Good Samaritan law is one that is in existence in Maryland, and it basically, for anybody who is with somebody who is going through an overdose, it says call. If they're called to render aid, neither the person calling nor the person exhibiting the overdose symptoms can be charged with the possession of the actual drug or the paraphernalia. It was the same for alcohol, so you can't be charged with furnishing alcohol for a minor. We don't want a minor to go into alcohol poisoning. We'd rather somebody call and get the assistance as opposed to being afraid to be charged with a crime or for a violation of probation and parole. The only thing it doesn't do, so there's no immunity granted if somebody is endangering the welfare of a child or neglecting a child, or if they themselves are the drug dealer or committing a violent crime. But for the use and possession of the drugs, they are immune from prosecution if they're calling for aid.
Excellent. Our time is gone, but I got a sneak in quickly about the drug court. Tell me more about that program.
Right. So Calvert County, our drug court's been up for 2 years. We're going to have our 3rd graduation in August. Nice. So far, we've had 12 who successfully graduated the program. Not one has committed a new crime since graduating the program. And we're going to have another 5 or 6 graduating in August.
Wonderful. And if people want to find out more information about drug court or anything else, they can go to your website.
Yes, absolutely. There's a link for drug court, and they can find out more information there.
Catherine Marsh, it was a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
We appreciate you coming on in. Thanks so much. And that'll do it for this edition of Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Yolanda Vasquez. Thanks for watching, everybody. We hope to see you again real soon.